be a little bit different for anybody who tries to do it on their own, because you're probably using a different CRM or system, but I know it can be done. We've done it in other systems. So we'll talk a little bit about how that could get done in your system if you have a question about that. So that's what we'll talk about today. What's up, Chip? Oh, I think he's still hopping in. And then just a reminder, these calls are open to everybody that you might vouch for. So everybody who's part of the NAEA family, essentially, we're open to having on these 3 o'clock Thursday calls. So if there's anybody that you have on your team, anybody that you're trying to maybe, recruit, or just somebody that you want to share some value with alongside of you, if you vouch for them, then you can invite them to these calls. What's up, Mike Fowler? Good to have you on.
Hello, hello. How are you today, stranger?
I'm good. I think I saw you doing something interesting on Facebook or the other day. Were you getting back in the gym or something?
Oh, baby. Yeah. I'm hitting it hard. I've got a COVID-15 to work off.
COVID.
Good.
At least you're hitting it hard.
I discovered a diet of Cabernet and couches is not conducive to healthy living.
What is that, your new podcast or something? Come on here.
Yeah, Cabernet and couches.
What's up, Wally? Man, that's awesome.
Hey,
hey guys, Jeff, I got to catch up with you at some point by the end of the day today, please.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely,
sorry,
man.
Sorry we missed each other.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I tried to call you back.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry we missed each other. Something went wrong with my big screen, so I'm sitting someplace else. So I apologize for the shoddy appearance of my. I need to sit lower so my camera didn't look like I was like this. So anyway,
hey, man,
good to see everybody. How we doing?
We're all looking like professional, these days, right? I mean, it wasn't too long ago, Wally. I might have been looking at your chest right now. That laptop cover used to slip down a lot.
Yeah. What are you looking at? Nothing.
We've all gotten pretty good at managing our little home studios now. Well, cool. Wally, man, I'd love to get your thoughts. I'm going to run through real quickly this little birthday hack that we created that's helped the girls in our sales team stay in touch with people based on something other than talking about business. We love it, and there's some other things we're going to add on to it. So I'm just going to walk through that process real quick. Wally can share some insight on why it's important to connect with people on something in addition to the sale, and actually try to develop a meaningful relationship on something besides the Benjamins. So we can talk a little bit about that. And then, if it's hard for you to understand how you might implement this in your system, because it'll depend on like what CRM you might be using and stuff, we'll talk a little bit about how to do that. But really what we wanted to be able to do is, number one, capture people's birthdays and be able to reach out and touch them when their birthdays were coming around. And so we were looking for a way that we could do that. We'll show you how we did that, what the tricky part was in doing so, what the cherry is on top. I think it really makes it stand out, even some things that we've yet to do that we're going to. And then hopefully we can talk about how you can do it. So the first reason why we're wanting to reach out to people, at least we were when it's their birthday, is because everybody loves to get that birthday message. And in today's world with everything else, most people, it's easy to send a comment or some emoji or something. But even despite the fact that I get more birthday wishes today than ever before because of that technology, I still enjoy it just as much. And there's actually an opportunity to make an even more meaningful impact, I think, today, because everybody is kind of sending comments and doing emojis and stuff like that, which is great, but it makes the human touch stand out that much more. And we are always wanting to find a way to connect with the people in our database about something other than a sale. We talked in the past about creating a feed, whether you use Google Alerts or something, but creating a feed so that you have juice every day to go back to those people that are in the nurture stage with and have something new to talk about. So about the community, about business, whatever. And this is another thing, is every month we have at least 30, 40, 50 people that we know we've got a call to make that month. And we look forward to it every month going, cool, we got 50 birthday calls this month to make or something. Those are fun calls to make. So here's the rub, is that you might have to get creative depending on what system you're using in order to leverage the automation here. The problem that we had is we use HubSpot, which looks a little something like this. It's badass, right? Does all the cool stuff. Might be more than what a lot of people need. And so I understand that, which is why I say you might have to do it a little bit different, but we can do it in just about any CRM, Follow-Up Boss, KV Core, whatever. There's a way to do it. Our problem is that when's your birthday? Mine's September 28th, 1978. When does that come around again? Well, 1978 doesn't. And so while we were able to create a field in HubSpot where we could put somebody's birthday, like 9/28/1978, then you run into, well, I want the system to do something when that day comes back around again. It'd be great if the system could automatically send that person a birthday message, or if it could notify me on that day when it's their birthday. Problem is that HubSpot, knows that 1978 isn't going to come around again, and the way that their system works is we can't trigger it just based on a month or a day or anything like that. So we kind of had to get it down to a month level where we could have people categorized by what month their birthday was in. And then we'd be able to, at the start of the month, start attacking how we're going to celebrate those people. And so you might have to use tags. You might have to use lists if you have that available, reports, if you can add custom fields into your CRM. One, if not all of those, is more than likely an option, which means that we can knock it out. So tactically, the way that we did it, and the way that you could do it is, number one, we got to capture the birthday. All right, we do that two different ways. We have a form that we will send out every 90 days or so, and it's a form that we built out right here in HubSpot, but you could use Jot form, you could use Google form. If your CRM or marketing platform has the ability to create a little form, you can do it all there. If you can do it inside your CRM, it's even better, because usually you can then take the answers that are put into those fields on your form and automatically parse those into the field in your CRM contact record. So that's always the best. If not, you can have a form on Google Form or Jot form or something and just do a Zapier integration. And when somebody fills out this form, take that information and put it into the contact record it matches inside of Follow-Up Boss or whatever it might be. So you can use a form. The other way that we do it is we have our NAEA members only Facebook group that a lot of you are members in. And there's 3 questions that we require you to answer in order to be accepted into that group. The third question is, when is your birthday and what's your favorite beverage? Because we like to surprise people, and from time to time we will send surprises. So we have those 2 ways that we can capture it outside of just asking people, right? So we have a form that we send out around every 90 days or so. Simple form, just one field, their birthday. And then we have our Facebook group where we ask for their birthday in order to be admitted in there. The other way that we do it, I guess there's 3, is that we just stock their social media page. So, a lot of our clients, a lot of the people that are in our database are friends or have requested friendship from me. I hope we're friends at some level on Facebook, right? We're all friends on Facebook. So, you could find yourself or whoever else in your organization, has a Facebook page where a lot of the people in your database might be followers, especially like people, agents that you might be trying to influence, right? Then you can always, every month, pull up your Facebook, and I find it easiest to do on mobile. I just go to Facebook and I type that little search magnifying glass and I type birthdays, and it pulls up, see upcoming birthdays. And then from right there, I just, usually what we'll do is I'll have somebody else on the team do it, or we'll just take 15 minutes, 10 minutes, doesn't usually take more than that. at the beginning of each month, and I'll run through the list of who the birthdays are that I know are business related right here, looking at my phone for October. Like, all right, here's the first one for October, Josh McGraw's October 13th, so on. Somebody would look it up in HubSpot. If we have that contact record in there and their birthday's not already there, then we just type it in. So we can use Facebook to get a lot of that. We only have to do it once, right? So this year, as I mentioned, we started a new workflow in this system to handle this. And so this year, first of every month, we've had to sit down and spend that 15 minutes and go, okay, here's all the birthdays for October. So we know what they're going to be ahead of time. But now next year, right, we won't have to do that. So once you go through the process initially, it doesn't take as much time, and it really doesn't take much time in the first place. So that's how we capture the birthdays: form Facebook groups, and then we stalk their social media, and we make sure that information gets put into their CRM. So we either parse that information in using the Zapier or something into the contact record. You can create a custom field in your contact record and have that information dumped into that field. For instance, you can, once you've captured the information for their birthday, you could make a tag that was like October birthdays and apply that tag to that individual, for instance, and just have then a tag for October, a tag for November, that sort of thing, right? And if we can get that far, or if you have lists and you can say, hey, if somebody's birthday in this field I created is October, put them on an October list, right? So depending on what your system might allow, one of those ways, this is probably you're going to be your best bet to get it into the contact record. And then once you have it in the contact record, you can usually create a report, for instance, if based on a tag. So show me a list of everybody who has this tag. Show me a report of everybody who has this tag. If it was the October tag, right? October 1st, I can show a report of everybody who has the October tag, and we know who we have to reach out to this month when it comes to birthdays. Again, assuming that you spend, at least the first year capturing as many birthdays as you can. The next year, you got a whole bunch of people every month. We have lists. So in our case, we have the birthday that we capture from a form, or if they get let into our Facebook group, somebody who accepts it actually takes and puts that birthday in to this birthday field here in the HubSpot in the contact record. If they fill it on a form, it automatically goes there because we use a HubSpot form. Then we also make sure to add the month. So we created this field birthday month because we had the problem of HubSpot not knowing 9/28, 1978. It's never going to come around again, but 9/28 does. Unfortunately, it won't trigger based on that. So we created this field of month, and we have a list for each month. So we have, January to December lists, and those lists work based on if your birthday month is September, you end up on the September list automatically. Your birthday month is December, you end up on the December list automatically, right? And there's these little workflows that we created in our case for this system that allows that to happen. Basically, these workflows each say, if the birthday month equals September, put that person on September list. If the tag equals October, put them on this list. Pull a report of everybody who has October tag, right? So there's a number of different ways that you can do it depending on what your system allows. But you can see, once we really got started, now I'm looking forward, to the next year. We got April, May, June, July, August, each with better than 50 people. And so that'll just continue to grow. October was a big month with 32. September, everybody had a birthday, it seemed like, in September, including me, 54. So, and what we do is at the beginning of each month, we look at these lists so that we know ahead of time who we're looking out for to have a birthday this month. And it's nice to know ahead of time, oh, that's cool, it's Jay Kinder's birthday this month, forgot, right? So we know ahead of time. And then what we also do is we create a task for the person to reach out to, we create a task for whoever the contact owner is, in our case, whoever the agent assigned to that lead prospect might be. A task is created for that person to reach out to them. So we do that manually right now. Is that when we're doing that on the first of the month birthday review, we go through the list, and as we take a look at everybody who has a birthday, we make sure that there's a task associated with it. So if they're already on the October list, it's easy. Everybody just looks at the October list, finds who their contacts are that are on that list that they own, and they create a task to reach out to them based on when the birthday is. If I'm reading through Facebook and I say, Jeff Kiani, oh, we don't have his birthday in there. Okay, well, it's 9/28. Put it in there. I got it in there. Okay, great. And then whoever owns it creates a task to make sure they follow up with that person on the 28th. Again, you can probably leverage some automation, but even if you're doing it manually, it really doesn't take that long, and you're doing it once a month, usually on the first of the month for us. So the next thing was the cherry on top, and what we're looking forward to adding on to this is some ways that will help us stand out from the crowd. Right. Today, as I mentioned, it's a world of comments, and I just did one of those birthday causes that supported first responders. And so all that stuff is great, and we get a lot of birthday love through the digital world, but a real human touch is even more rare because of that. So we're looking for more ways to do that. What I do every single time when I'm seeing birthdays on my Facebook, if it's somebody that I feel knows me and we know each other well enough, I'll send a messenger video. What we used to do and what we haven't yet done, but we're going to do with ours is we typically would create an evergreen video. It was like, hey, somebody told me it was your birthday this month. We wanted to wish you a happy birthday from the entire team, and hopefully we'll get to see you soon. Hope you have an amazing day and whatever, right? And so we could create an evergreen video like that that's just general enough that it can get by with anybody. And then we could even automate that video to be delivered based on anybody being on a particular list, right? So I'm not even saying when the birthday is. I'm saying a little birdie told me that it might be your birthday this month. We hope you have a great one. And our gift to you is take a deep breath and relax, whatever, right? But I can say, I heard your birthday is this month, and I could have an email that goes out every month on the 3rd of each month, or maybe the 1st, just in case somebody's birthday was the 1st. But right, I think you guys can understand. I could send it out at the beginning of each month to everybody who's on a list or tagged as October or September or something, a personal evergreen video. So that could be automated. The other way is that once you have them on a list and you've got that tactical part taken care of, you can probably pretty easily use Zapier or something like that to, when somebody gets tagged as a certain month or something along those lines, it can trigger an email to be sent to your favorite delivery service. I know Chip uses send out cards. I guarantee you there would be a way to communicate. All right, somebody's ended up on the October list. Send a message to send out cards to send out our card and some brownies. And our card would say, somebody told me that you might have a birthday this month. Sweet. Right? I hope you love this or whatever. Again, I can keep it general if I'm really trying to scale it that way. The other is send a card, just flat out send a card, right? We used to send out thank you cards to everybody that would move forward in our database from a lead to a nurture. We'd send out a card. Definitely would want to send out one for their birthday, and that would be easy to automate as well once you've got a system in place to get them tagged or get them on a list, something like that. Then we can easily automate the sending of a card. And something that Wally has done several times, and I love it. It's a DoorDash meal. I think everybody these days has used DoorDash or Uber Eats or something to get lunch. And so sending that as a gift, I think is super cool. That you probably aren't going to be able to automate, but again, if you have your system set up and you get ahead of it, you spend time getting those birthdays at the beginning of the month, what you're in for as far as I got 30 birthdays this month. And if we are going to do some things gift wise, like DoorDash or whatever, we have a chance to kind of plan it out. All right. So the last thing, and we're done, and we can.
I got some add before you go on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I know Chip Barkell said something about send out cards. Probably the easiest way to automate that. You can send gift cards. Their brownies are through the roof good. But I have all my clients send out birthday cards with a $5 gift card to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or up in Canada, Tim Hortons or whatever. And you would not believe the response they get from that. I mean, people get text messages all the time. And I think part of the reason it works is as we get older, we don't celebrate birthdays as regularly, right? I mean, up until you're 18, you get a birthday pretty much every year. Then it's 21. Then it's 30, 40, 50, 60. And if you're lucky, you get 70 and 80, right? There's not a whole lot of, it's usually benchmark birthdays at that point. So when you send somebody a birthday card and, with a little $5 gift card in it, it goes a long way. I have my clients it's simple idea, but my clients love doing it because they get a truckload of great responses from people. Oh my God, maybe it's $10 or whatever, but it's not terribly expensive. You can have your vendors offset the cost of it and include, their information in with it. Hey, happy birthday from, Wally at ABC Realty and Bob's from Bob's Houses and Mortgages and Waffles, whatever, but they can help to offset the cost of it. I mean, you're looking at probably $1,200. I mean, Zap, you do it, right? Donald Zappia?
Yes.
You can mute yourself while you're talking. That works too.
Yes.
Oh, don't tell me about it or anything. Just tell me you do it. It works well, doesn't it? Donald.
Yes.
Don's very, very few words today. Yes. Are you?
He's a man of few words, but big action.
He's rarely a man of few words. He's quite a speaker. Don. No? Okay. Well, if you come back, let me know because Don does it. He's one of my clients. He's had some good results with it. But the whole point is that's good. A couple of things to remember. You want it to be. Oh, there you are, Don.
Yes. Yeah, well, I sent a thank you, happy birthday card with a little coffee card, Tim Hortons coffee card up here in Buffalo. So just a little $5 coffee card. Believe it or not, the response I get back is ridiculous.
Right?
Yeah. Wow, thanks for thinking of me. Appreciate it. This and that. So.
Yeah, and it keeps you top of mind, and it's nothing so good. Like I said, closer you get to Canada, Tim Hortons. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so it's the first and second thing. You want to make sure it's handwritten. So if you do use something like send out cards, pick the handwriting version of it. There's other programs out there that will let you send handwritten cards. I think cards that look handwritten. The last thing is this: at least send it the week of their birthday. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll never forget. I got, and I think listen, I appreciated my insurance guy's effort, but they sent me one of those standard birthday cards with a picture of a cake on the front of it. Happy birthday from your friends at, and then I had the black stamp of the company name on there. It looked like it was from 1974, and it came on June. It came on June 30th, and my birthday is July 19th. I'm like, at least get it in the same month for God's sakes, So I recommend you set it up for, if you're going to do that, you send them out like the, probably that Monday or maybe that Saturday so that I can get there on Monday because usually local mail travels within a day, or maybe the Friday before. It's better to be a couple days early, but if you get it to them the week of their birthday, they're going to be pretty fired up about it. I don't know, Don, does anybody ever take a picture of it and send it to you with the text as well? Okay, you can get back to us in a sec, but sometimes people will send you pictures. But anyway, so I actually got it from, wasn't even my idea. I got it from,
No. Can you hear me, Wally?
Yeah.
No, nothing. I haven't had that one yet. No.
I got you. No problem. So, I got it from a guy in Champaign in Urbana. He said sometimes people would send him pictures. So it's real simple. You can schedule it the way oh, thank you, Chip. Yeah. So you schedule it. Now, if you have a bigger budget, and Chip maybe can talk to this, but seriously, and used to send, when I had access to our send out campaign, I would send, like when people in the company would help me things, I'd send them a card with the brownies. The brownies, so send out cards keeps them frozen and sends them frozen so that by the time they get to the person, they've already defrosted and they're yummy and gooey and soft and stuff like that. I've known people that give people a card for one nothing bundt cake, one of those little buntinis, or a scoop of ice cream at a local place. There's one guy I worked with who had a really big budget, and he would send people a piece of birthday cake. He had found a company that would in the area that would deliver somebody a nice huge slice of birthday cake fresh. So, there's no limit to what you do. It doesn't have to be that, but for $5 extra and maybe getting your vendor to kick in a little bit, it just stands out a little bit than the old birthday card. You know what I'm saying? So if you can swing it, I would definitely do it. Anyway, thanks.
No, that's good stuff. Well, it's funny you mentioned it doesn't have to be big. It makes an impact. It's like Wally was saying, as you get older, you kind of forget. Like my birthday was just September 28th, and I totally I was on vacation, but still, like I kind of forgot. And I got back October 1st, and like I got a couple cards and a couple things, and I was shocked. Like it was because you kind of, I don't get gifts really as much anymore, and so man, even a little $25 Amazon or something, a $10 Amazon, whatever, it makes an impact. It's just getting the gifts. Like, oh man, I kind of forgot. Man, felt like I was a kid again. So that is a real good point, that it means more now than ever before, probably. And as far as how you can do it, there's some great comments that were just left in here. Send out cards, birthday friendly, birthday smart. Google Calendar, obviously, if you can manage that, that's one way. There was a question about, would you have your administrative assistant handle the tasks? Absolutely. Unless like if it's personal handwriting type of stuff, it'd be up to you on whether or not you'd want to let somebody do that. But absolutely. And then at KV Core, somebody mentioned that in KV Core there is a birthday campaign that allows 2 birthdays per contact, so you can have them and their spouse. So the key is, once you've got it in that field, then there are plenty of tools out there. If it doesn't exist internally in the system that you have, you can use a Zapier or something like that. In most cases, that'll probably do the job. And get that information out of the record over to where it needs to be to start automating some things that you can't do it inside. And if you have a system like Follow Up Boss or something like that, you're probably going to be best using forms, lists, or tags, with some sort of integration to get all that to happen. But it's not something that's super difficult. The learning curve, if you don't have any idea what those things are, the learning curve might be a little bit. So just get somebody who knows what the languages we're talking about. They could knock it out probably within 45 minutes to an hour. And worst comes to worst, you can hit us up, and our team can work through the tactics and maybe even do it for you if it's not too complicated. But Miranda and Sierra can tell you that it's made a huge impact. It gives us something exciting every month, to reach out to people about. People have commented back for us on it. They're amazed, like, how did you get it? When you're stalking their Facebook page every month, people are like, how did you get it? And I can't believe you called. So Sierra and Miranda, you guys might have heard some cool stuff recently.
It builds rapport, really. They really are, grateful that, we remember their birthday, and it builds that relationship with the client that, really goes a long way. So.
Chip, what were you going to say?
Hi, Jeff. This is Chip.
Chipper.
Hi, Chip.
Back in July, I was on one of the
Chip, we can't hear you. Hey, Chip, we can't hear you, buddy. Pay your phone bill.
Whoever's on the call was like, hey, very well. Can you hear me better now?
No.
Okay, that was cool.
You better now.
All right, let's mute him.
Yeah. Hey, Wojo, do you get mail where you are at that hut on Gilligan's Island there?
No.
I dropped the bottle. I dropped the bottle over here in Galveston. You ought to be getting it sometime soon.
Yeah.
We're here to reach your car's extended warranty.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I have a question. Has anybody done like a lake party or anything that goes a step further?
A what party?
Than
like
a party at the lake, or a holiday party.
For events for their people. What do you
Right,
say? You celebrate everybody's birthday at once at like a special party?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a great idea, though. Once a year, have a birthday party to celebrate his birthday and get some monstrous cake, and yeah, I think that'd be
it's beyond a party, but I just saw Cindy Featherstone Shields post something in her Facebook group today about their annual cruise. So I don't know how she's worked it out, but she's bought probably a large block of rooms on a cruise ship, and so it's for all of her clients that she invites every year on that cruise. And the way she positioned it, she positions it like it's her cruise. It doesn't say Royal Caribbean or anything on it. It looks like it's her cruise. Obviously, I don't think she rented out the whole cruise ship, but it's I think it caught my eye. I thought it was pretty cool.
we need an NAEA one.
I don't know about the expense of it, but wow.
Well, like Wally said,
like a weekend.
your vendors will, whatever the expense is, now that might be exuberant, but whatever the expense is, you know, you could probably get 75% of it, if not all of it covered by, you know, good discussion with your vendors.
So vendors like title, home
Mortgage,
warranty.
yeah. You know, and honestly, stuff like postage and note cards and stuff like that. I mean, our title company is far more likely to pay money for something like that than other things you might need help with. So, I mean, this is something if you're ever going to go to your, because I like paying for like postage and photocopying and other things that don't look like super tricky things because they're just so worried about RESPA and our friends over at the CFPB, the clowns for you know, punishing brokers, I think they're called. But anyway, so Chip, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
For now, go ahead.
Okay. What I was saying earlier was back in July, I was on a call, one of these calls, and Jeff said, Chip had a birthday this week. And I was trying to figure out how he knew that. Of course, now I know. But I still felt really good about it. But in terms of the send-out cards and the brownies, I followed up with brownies after a listing appointment a year ago, and the woman said to me, I think you're romancing me. She was like an 83-year-old woman. But I just sold her house Tuesday night in multiple, 100,000 over asking. So those $15 brownies paid off handsomely.
Did you tell her you romance with flowers and not brownies?
She got flowers too with the house listing.
You're a romancer.
Hey, I'll tell you what, what's cool is also like, I mean, maybe it's for me because a lot of the times I'm the one going, okay, Wally Bressler's, is his birthday there? Nope. Okay, here's a boom. And so I'm kind of seeing it, but I remember. So I remember that Chips is July 20th, I think. July 20th or 21st.
And why do you remember Chips is July 20th? Because mine is July 19th. That's right.
You're right,
July
July 20th.
We got the cancers in here.
Yeah, a bunch of sensitive, sappy whiners. We all are. I got you.
Oh, you're youngsters.
Who said youngster? Whoa. Who said youngster? How old are you, Wojo?
Me.
How old are you?
46.
You're what? You're 46?
I'm 46.
Sure you are. Anyway, I'm 53, so I don't, you know, I appreciate the offer.
Hey, cool.
I just turned 43, you know, since
so there's a book that we used to have all of our clients read a long time ago, you know, when we were doing some other stuff, but there's a book by a guy named Jack Mitchell called Hug Your Customer. And it really was about the whole thing. And that's where kind of the surprise and delight thing came about. That's why we got send out cards originally. And it's all about how he built one of the biggest clothing stores in the Connecticut area by taking really good care of his clients. You probably heard us talk about the Shannon Brown story before. You know, Jay bought, this is back in the day when they sold Hummers and, you know, they were all the rage, and Mike and Jay and other real estate agents were buying Hummers at $11 a gallon, right? Remember they got like 11 miles a gallon, and they were wrapping them. And, you know, Mike went and bought a Hummer there. Then Jay went and bought a Hummer, and Shannon Brown like rode him like a Shetland pony, but very nicely checked in like a day later, a week later, a couple weeks later, a month later, sent him thank you notes. And, you know, basically, and then Jay ended up buying a bunch more vehicles from him. He bought like an H2, I think, an H3, with the H3 is the smaller one. And then Shannon became like such a huge like point of contact for them, refer people to them, that Jay was like literally giving him like thank you gifts for like tickets to Oklahoma football games and stuff like that, because he had built such a great relationship with him and took care of him. And, you know, this kind of, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take over the call here, Jeff, sorry, but you go to the mall or you go to the grocery store, you bump into somebody, hey, how's it going? They're like, oh, Mike, haven't seen you in a long time. What's going on? Mike's like, yeah, I'm doing well. Hey, you're in real estate, right? Yeah, I just sold my house. And you're like, I'm going to my car to get my gun. I'll be right back. You know, and so the whole point is that's usually our fault, because we didn't own the relationship and stay in touch with them and get to the point where they would never think about selling their house with anybody else. Or, you know, and look, it happens, you know, but I mean, when you don't have a good relationship with somebody, when you don't own it, that happens. I mean, for God's sakes, you know, my own brother-in-law didn't like me. He bought a house from somebody else in our office when he bought his house, you know, and didn't even tell me.
You didn't hug him enough. You didn't hug him enough.
He's like, it's hugging him's like hugging a porcupine. No thanks, not that fun. But the whole problem, my whole point is when you own the relationship at a really high level, you know, that's a lot less likely to happen. There's no guarantee. So And so just to embellish on this, like I have my clients send out a monthly market report. I have them make a quarterly phone call, send a quarterly handwritten note, send out a birthday card with a gift card in it, have at least one annual event, and then hand out Thanksgiving pies. I have people to do Girl Scout cookies, do Valentine's Day candy. But they're hearing from you one way or another. But the big thing is that human interaction, like Jeff talked about, is involved. Quarterly phone calls with a handwritten note. You're like, I'm going to own that thing. And so, this is all part of a bigger strategy of making sure that you really build and maintain strong relationships with people. So sorry about the.
No, it's all good stuff, man. Thank you for sharing. Another thing, like looking for stuff to talk about. Again, what I hate, I'm sure Wally would agree, is when you hear salespeople who are just making those follow-up calls, like, "Hey, Wally, it's Jeff. I talked to you about 3 months ago. You're gonna maybe sell your house. Are you ready yet?" Like, dude, that call, you can go six. It's like that same call every time you follow up. It's the same call, and you're actually diminishing where you were at in the straight line. Like, now it's just you've lost all rapport and everything. So I'm always looking for ways, and we are, to reach out to people with new information or something that's unrelated to the business at hand. And if it makes sense, we can transition into, hey, by the way, last time we talked, this was going on, fill me in, like if you wanted to. But sometimes I want to get off the phone and not say a word about anything that's related to the sale. I want them to go, damn, I kept waiting for him to ask me about that listing appointment, and I'll be damned, he didn't. Now maybe 3 days later I might, who knows. But so one of the things that we start doing now too is we have the calendar for every holiday every day. Like today was, I can't remember now what today is. Tomorrow is White Cane Day. Who knew? White Cane Day. You ever heard of that? White Cane Day. So that's a holiday for people that can't see, people that are sight impaired. That's tomorrow. I think the 16th is World Bread Day or whatever. And so, we're going to leverage that for our social media campaign. So we have something to talk about every day. That's not about how great we are, but that's something else that you could use. You wouldn't have to do it every day, but once a week, you could have a piece of content, or even touch those people that are in your 90-day pipeline with, hey, I don't know if you knew this, but today is such and such. Just thought I'd let you know I'm reaching out to all my clients. I wasn't even aware that there was such a thing or whatever. Just anything that you can use to reach out to your client. I think those are interesting. Like everybody's like, no, I didn't even know what White Cane Day was. And somebody else would probably have a similar,
What's the website for that to find those days?
I'll send you the link right now. I'll drop it in the chat, but you can just search like daily holiday calendar. And I'm sure there's a million of them.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
Ben, what do you got going on? I wanted to hear about you, man. I know you've been crushing it lately, and I enjoy seeing your videos. What do you got going on?
Hey guys. Yeah, I've been just trying to stay consistent with, now cold calling more now, because my client, I got one for sale that last time I talked to you guys. And then one, have to go back out with one of my buyer clients. He was in escrow, and we've been in escrow for like 2 months because a 10 wouldn't move out. And so we're just gonna go back out again and find another house that we can get them into escrow again. So
they're just riding the eviction moratorium there. They just don't have the authority to kick them out, huh?
Mm-hmm. So we don't want to wait too much longer. He's been already waiting for 2 months. And I've been getting a lot of people that want to use me to help them get rents. And I'm like I'm not trying to help you with that, but I'm trying to get whatever business comes right now. So
yeah, man. Well, I don't know what Wally's comments would I'd be interested to see if Wally had any comments on that. I think they can make sense. Hey, look, depends on where you're at, right? I mean, it wasn't that long ago I was talking to somebody in New York who was like, man, I love those rentals. Obviously it's a different market there.
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles.
Well, hey, not still not cheap.
Yeah, it's same as our mortgage pretty much almost. And so I'm working with renters. I'm working with some buyers right now mainly. And so that's where I'm at with my business. And
Let me ask you this: how many calls a day do you think that you're averaging right now? Because I know I get it. You had some stuff, your pipeline dried up a little bit. Now you got to get back on the phone, get some new stuff in the
Right.
pipeline.
Yeah, so I'm doing this 100 point success daily tracker. So at least I'd go at least 100,
Love it.
at least 100 mojo calls at least every day, at least. That's
But
my
no
That's a
two
goal.
winning.
renters.
That's a winning formula right there. I mean, you can't help but run into some business. I think if you're doing that.
It is. It's actually amazing. So I was just talking to my team leader, Hector, that was just on here. We're definitely gonna, I like what I hear about, maybe we can add on some email marketing with what is that, MailChimp? So
Yeah,
look into
yeah.
that and then add on to that campaign that you emailed me. So I definitely want to utilize that campaign drip campaign that you sent me. So yeah.
Oh yeah, from last week. Yeah, that 3
Yeah.
month, 6 month. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of work done for you there. You just get in and chop it up and customize it a
Yeah.
little bit for your own.
Gonna take a little time, but I'll get it done for sure.
Yeah, man.
And
Keep up the
Wally,
calls. Keep up
You
the
can
calls.
you
know
can
what I mean?
guarantee
That's-
it. I won't post anything on the Facebook. I promise.
Just ask. I mean, if you ask, I'm cool. You start dropping stuff on my page, like, you want to ask, I'm happy to do it. You know what I mean?
But I'm inspired by actually cold calling that I made a video on
Well,
tips
I
on how to
appreciate
cold
that.
call.
Just say, hey, I want to put this on your page. Is that cool? I'm like, yeah, no problem.
Can I post that tomorrow?
Yes, be my guest. Yes.
There
Okay.
you go. Boom.
Okay. Okay.
Just
Cool.
Interest me dropping stuff on my page. That's all. It's
No,
all
I got you.
Listen, Don's connected, man. He's got people he knows, so it's connected. He'll get after some people. So I heard the thing about the rentals. I mean, it's like everything else. Potentially rentals could buy houses at some point. Like
Yeah.
Jeff said, it all depends on where you are in your business. That's all. And if you're, I really didn't spend a lot of time with renters, but if you get a renter, and here's the thing, if you can make it, over $1,000 and it's not a lot of work, then do it. You never know. Build a relationship with them. Everybody either has to buy a house or know somebody that's going to buy a house. So do what you have to do. Just don't, I mean, if you're in New York City or Cali or other places where there's, rentals, like major metropolitan areas, or rentals are a big deal, maybe that's part of it, but you know what I'm saying? So you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I was just saying to Jeff, like, I'm taking what I can right now because I'm in a dry spell a little bit, but once I get these cold calling revved up, I'm sure I'll drum a little more business with more buyer leads or seller leads. But I'm getting referrals. That's the only renters that I'm working with are referrals that, oh, can you help my friend out here, whatever. And yeah, I'm finding out, to be honest, that rentals are as much as mortgage. Of course, we all know that, but some are that we submit applications, they even need to go above asking rental price, which is crazy in my opinion. So yeah.
Well, good, man. I'm glad you're focused.
And I'll see you
on-
guys in Texas.
Oh, you're gonna come to boot camp? Good.
Oh, for sure.
Don, I think you're coming, right? I think he already got his stuff.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Chip's gonna be here. Mike, you're gonna have to get out here.
Can't make this one.
All right.
I gotta go do some work in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good excuse. That's a good excuse then.
Opposite direction.
All right. Cool. Well, if anybody else has anything to share, then feel free to. But otherwise, we'll sign off for today. The replay will be available for everybody. If you don't get it, let me know. If you need us to walk through the tactics on how to do something, hit us up. Anybody on our team, we can schedule a call. Speaking of which, yeah, hit us up. I don't know if you saw that Fury fight the other night.
Yep.
Man, I hadn't
Fun.
seen the boxing in a while. It was a decent
11 rounds. You gotta like that.
fight. Oh, all right, guys. Thank you. See y'all later.
Bye,
Thanks.
guys.
Hi, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day.